Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and I'm here to talk about the latest episode of Secret Invasion. And as it begins, we see Fury bringing the president to the hospital as news breaks of the attack. And it's reported that people saw shape-shifting aliens. Gravik rallies the troops, and after killing one guy who disagreed with him, he tells his people that they don't have a voice in what happens and orders them to go kill Fury's wife. He then orders Rhodey to spill the beans to the president as leverage, and when Fury confronts him at the hospital, he informs Fury that the footage of fake Fury killing Agent Hill has been released to the press. Sonya confronts one of her operatives, who is a SKRULL, to get the location of the doctors who were making the Super SKRULL machine. Gravik is attacked by some of his own people who disagree with him being the leader, because apparently he either lied or was wrong when he told them that he had a line on where they could get Avengers DNA for their machine, but he survives. Fury goes to a safe house and finds Gaia there. She's convinced Talos died for nothing, and after telling Fury that the DNA that Gravik used in his machine belonged to Cull Obsidian and Flora Colossus, despite the fact that he was looking for something called the Harvest, which apparently was supposed to be a sampling of DNA from the Avengers that was hidden away, she requests to be able to bury her father. Fury then hands her the keys to the van containing his body and takes off because the cops are closing in. Meanwhile, Sonya interrogates the Daltons, the doctors who made the machine, and ends up having to kill Mr. Dalton, a SKRULL, when he takes Mrs. Dalton, also a SKRULL, hostage to try to escape Sonya. Gravik tries to make a deal with Fury to get a hold of the Harvest, but Fury seemingly blows him off, even though Gravik holds the attack that the president is planning on Gravik's base in Russia at Rhodes's behest over Fury's head. Gaia and Fury's wife burn Talos's body at Fury's house, where the wife's been waiting around to be executed because apparently that's protocol, as well as because she'd rather defend herself in her happy place than on the run, and her executioners soon arrive, at which point she and Gaia handle them quite handily. Meanwhile, Fury boards some kind of private plane and escapes the UK using identity faking technology, apparently with the help of Sonya. After she picks him up in Finland, he explains to her that he's the one who had Gravik secretly collect the Avengers' DNA after each of them had bled on the battlefield. He then retrieves some things from a fake tombstone and mausoleum, including a vial of the Avengers' DNA, a new coat, an eye patch, some weapons, and a new hat, before placing a phone call and saying to whomever picks up, "It's time, let's finish this." So, I like this episode quite a bit. It's probably the second best episode, in my opinion. Because the fecal material continues to hit the rotisserie cooling device. And I think that's what's going to be cool to see, how this all wraps up, how they put down this invasion, at least temporarily. I liked Gaia being in the episode. Emilia Clarke is awesome. I like that she helped Fury's wife fend off her fellow SKRULLs. I thought that was cool because, after things didn't go well with her dad, I thought maybe she was going to go back to serving Gravik, but she didn't, which is cool, even though she still thinks her father died for nothing and that he had it wrong. I'm glad that Fury's wife survived. I'm glad that Fury was able to confront Rhodey and tell him, "I know you're a SKRULL, you fucker." I loved Olivia Colman in this episode. She's just awesome. She did a really good job. Her character tickles me to no end. And, I'm glad to see Fury on the warpath in his old jacket with the eye patch instead of those terrible glasses, though I'm not digging the hat. And I think next week's finale is going to be very tense and, hopefully action-packed. I also like the fact that Gravik's people, or some of them anyway, turned on him, and there's not unity anymore among his people now that they see he's kind of full of shit or that he screwed up. Yeah, I thought it was a good episode like last week, and I thought these two episodes were better than the few episodes that had preceded them, which were kind of just very bland. But I thought these last two episodes had substance, and I thought this one was almost as good as last week's. I'm a little bit bummed, or quite a bit bummed, I should say, that Talos is actually dead. I thought maybe they were going to be able to save him, but I guess not, so that sucks. But I'm looking forward to the finale. There's not a lot more to say. That's really all there is to it. So I'm going to get out of here. I'll definitely be back to review the finale once it's released. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life.